It's Saturday Night Live.
Live from Schneider, Indiana.
Schneider.
Oh, Schneider. Schneider all-nighter.
Schneider all-nighter.
We're pulling an all-nighter in Schneider.
That's right. Hello, I'm Dave, but it's actually pronounced Throat Wobbler Mangrove.
Throat mangrove.
That's right. And Tom is actually pronounced Tom. But anyway, how's it going today?
It's going good. Here,
I am Dave, and you are not. Okay?
I cannot believe we got here. We were wearing blind.
You gotta be working.
We were wearing blindfolds. I don't know how you could drive like that.
By using the Schwartz.
You used the Schwartz?
Yes, the Schwartz.
Well, I think you have that global tracking
I got
thing.
the GPS system built into my pancreas.
Yes, I think it is. We tried something. We were trying to see if we could get here blindfolded, and so we wore blindfolds all the way here. Dave lives quite a ways from here, actually.
That's right, young Jedi.
Yes. And
well, we're what, 10 miles from here? Well, how far are we? About 10?
About 10 miles.
Okay,
yeah.
10 miles.
And then once we got here, he pulled up, and at that point, I had to take the blindfolds off.
Yeah, and then we ended up in the lake.
It was very close to the lake.
So I made it all the way here, and then I drove in the lake. So.
Yeah, it was very, all the way good to the end.
Lake Goober.
Lake Goober. Do you know what? And I was checking a map, and do you know that the lake is actually on the map? Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny?
No,
a small little rectangular.
Lake.
It looks like a little rectangular shape like this.
It's on the map.
It's on the map.
Really?
Yes.
Why would it be on the map if it's man-made like that? It's not that huge.
I don't know. I don't know why.
It's 7 acres.
It's 7 acres. That's why.
So to be on a map, it's probably got to be 5.
What's the limit for a map acreage?
Yeah, well, that's
lake
a good,
map
good question
acreage.
for Wild Bill, man. He's good at that stuff.
Next week we will not have
software
Dave
update.
Dave will be in the land of Disney, won't you? You're going.
I will be in Disney World, Orlando, Florida.
Right. And are you gonna film some stuff to bring back to show us? Maybe a couple of screams.
I don't know.
How about if you could attack one of the costume
I can do a little filming
creatures
with my camera.
Would you attack a creature? One of the Mickey Mouse, maybe? Wouldn't it be? Could you just go up and start beating on him?
Like like what's his name? Sullivan from Monsters.
They'll throw him out of the park.
Captain Kirk dropkick on Sully. Yeah. Remember that? Dun, 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 dun. Remember? You watch Star Trek? No. God.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Hey, did you know that they got up in space again? They took up into space.
Who?
The NASA people.
NASA people went up in space.
They went up in space again. Yes.
In what? A rocket?
In a rocket.
Okay.
Yes. They're trying to. I think they're trying to fix a telescope.
Oh.
But it's in an area in space.
Not the Hubble, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Hubble again.
But I think that where it's at,
I just nuked that thing.
It's very. There's lots of space debris.
Okay.
So we actually have garbage in space.
Oh, of course.
We have a problem in space with the garbage.
Yes, we sure do. Yep.
And there was a guy that he was a retired NASA engineer, and he was working on a rocket fuel. Mm-hmm. He was working on an alternate rocket fuel, and it blew up. He didn't get hurt. Nobody got hurt, but
wow.
there was too much methane and oxygen.
Yeah.
And so
crystal methane.
But see, the thing is that what happens when you fart? You create methane gas. So in a way, he's trying to fart.
You create it, then you fart.
Yes, you create it and then you fart. And you crack your knuckles and nitrogen gets released.
That's right.
We're very gassy.
Decaying organic matter.
We're gassy people, aren't we?
Yes.
Humankind.
Well, I had that gas trivia.
Right.
A couple liters.
Well, here's the thing that's funny.
Unless you're Bill.
You could fart your way to space.
You just sit on a launch pad and light your fart.
Just light your fart.
Yeah.
Come on, baby, light your fart. And you know what else is kind of strange is that in San Antonio, Texas, they've come up with a way to convert human poop into gas.
Wow, that's a job I'd like to have.
Yeah. It's true.
I can see us with hazmat suits. Oh, Tom,
that would be horrible.
Oh my. Yeah, but like Bill Murray, remember that in Caddyshack?
Oh yeah.
That Baby Ruth bar.
Pulls it out of there and puts it in his mouth.
Yeah. He passed out.
Yeah. And I saw, I don't know, a few weeks ago we were talking about not Ghostbusters, but Mythbusters.
Oh yeah.
And I actually was on YouTube and I found some of the parts of the episode. They showed. They showed how they debunked the idea of a hoax. One of the biggest things was when you're in space, if you step on the lunar surface, it's like a fine type of.
It's powdery.
There's a powdery
it's almost like
substance.
Baby powder.
They have a name for it, but they went to NASA and they went inside.
What was that?
There was a fly.
You hallucinating? Oh, okay. I saw no fly, Tom.
It was a fly. It was a tsetse fly.
It's the medication.
I knew where he was going to go. That's why I got him.
So what about Mythbusters?
So they went to NASA, and NASA let them go inside of one of their vacuum. They create a vacuum inside of one of the. They recycle parts of their rockets. So they used a giant section of rocket, and they create a vacuum in there to do experiments and stuff. And they actually set up a tray, and they made a boot, a space boot.
Yeah.
And they put the the boot down into the fake lunar surface material.
Yeah.
And it actually left a print.
It left a print.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see why it wouldn't.
Well, because
there's still gravity on the moon. It's 1/4 that of Earth.
Right, but the reason that it did that is because there is a vacuum. And if there wasn't a vacuum, it would have just
created something and then just dissipated.
It would just dissipate right away. And the fact that there's a vacuum and it's crushed together.
Yeah.
It left the form of the boot bottom.
Oh.
The tread.
Okay.
Yes.
And it stayed that way.
It stayed that way.
Okay.
So they proved that. They also did another one where something to do with the lighting, where if in the shadow the astronaut is climbing on board the shuttle, not the shuttle, but what was that thing called? The lunar module.
Yeah.
And in the shadow, they were thinking that he wouldn't be able to see him because there's only one source of light, which was the sun. So the darkness would be absolutely pitch black. You wouldn't be able to see.
Right.
But they proved that you could see the little astronaut fellow.
Well, they on purpose they landed on the bright side of the moon because usually the moon you only see one face. It's kind of like it doesn't really rotate. It's just kind of Earth holds it in one spot. But anyway. So what else is going on there, Jimmy Crackhorn? Why is it so hard to swat a fly, Tom? Why?
Why is it so hard to swat a fly?
I just want to know these things.
I actually killed that little tsetse fly or whatever it was, fruit fly.
Did you? Where's its corpse?
I think it fell in your beer.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's all right.
They've come up with nanotechnology to actually simulate a fly. They made little mechanical flies, and they're trying to figure out how a fly can get away so easily. And it's because the way that they adjust their bodies and they turn their wings and they lean towards one leg or another, they can fly any direction.
Okay,
away
from
where
so it's already in a stance where it's going to go in the
right. So as you're coming up to hit it, it's already adjusting itself. So what you have to do is you have to strike for what you might believe would be the escape route.
Oh, okay.
Fly.
Okay.
So.
That makes sense because you ever see those guys that there's a fly sitting there and they're standing in front of it and they go from behind and grab that fly?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen people do that?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Well, frogs, they seem to be pretty good at that. Frogs can catch flies, right?
Yeah, with their tongue.
Yeah.
But they're standing in front of it.
Well.
Unless the tongue goes behind the fly and then grabs it. Because the fly is going to go that. This is getting way too...
Well, there's
not that bright.
There's a frog that they thought was extinct, and it turns out it's not.
In Australia.
In Australia, you heard about it?
Yeah.
I actually think that the frog was part of the witness protection program, and they have a very poor witness protection program in Australia.
Do they?
Yes, because what was killing all the frogs was this fungus. So I think that they put these frogs into a witness protection program to protect them from the fungus. Now the fungus knows that they're out.
Aha!
So
that's it.
Let's see how long that frog lasts. What is it with Australia? I don't get it.
You thought Canada was bad with the flopping heads and
Australia is a country to look, or a continent to look out for. Right. They have that Geico commercial with that. What type of lizard is it? The gecko. Yes. And he's Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian. They all look like that.
They do.
Yeah.
And he must be probably in the witness protection program too.
Probably, yeah.
That's why he's right out there in broad daylight on commercials.
Right. I think you're right.
Yeah.